Hello everybody, Kanisha the Creator here, and I'm here today to bring you my reaction to JaidenAnimations. Well, I hate reading. That's not me. I love reading. I have a whole list of books that I am going to be reading. Some books from my childhood, some books that I'm going to be reading in my adulthood, etc., etc.
Reading, books, libraries, it's all boring. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not.
I mean, it depends.
Normal,
There's a whole genre of people who love talking about their books and get money for talking about books called book talk. And I love books so much that I make books of my own. Copyrighted.
Actually, it's a funny story. They were about to get one at Target because they were on sale, but they received one as a gift instead. What a coincidence. And they have a cat. I'm not saying that isn't a poetic life you've got going on over there, but I still don't like reading and have a cat allergy. It's kind of complicated.
Sorry,
the thought of reading
sorry,
really nice
maybe you just haven't found the best book genre. Because trust me, I have found many books that I absolutely love. Like, I still love Harry Potter. I still love rereading Artemis Fowl. I love Chronicles of Narnia, The Magic Tree House, A to Z Mysteries, etc., etc.
Symbolisms and To Kill a Mockingbird. And, oh God, was I supposed to read up to chapter 7 by Thursday or through it? I used to love reading. I still have the strong memory of going to my elementary school's library and being excited to check out the next Geronimo Stilton book because I loved the pictures and fun text they had.
Hey, fair enough.
Being able to read books that had more than 10
I
words
loved
on the
watching
page
the
was
show
impressive to a
Geronimo
6-year-old.
Stilton, and I found a book to read.
I was able to crush a 300-pager in 2 days, which I don't think is considered impressive anymore, but it was in 5th grade, and look, that was the only self-worth I had, alright? But when school started making us read books by force, it kind of took the fun away from me. I don't like being told what to do with my free time.
That was like the opposite effect for me.
That I need cliff notes to decode just to realize that all the animals were communists. Also, it's 20% of my grade. I get it, though. What else are we gonna do in English class? We can all understand each other, right? We're speaking English.
To be honest, English class helped influence my love of writing and reading.
Symbolism is in the color of the main character's curtains, and I'm not even observant enough to realize they had curtains. Led me to not really having fun.
In fact, my English teacher would read some of my stories and be like, wow, you're going to be an amazing author. And I would feel pretty proud of that.
For all I know. Asparagus. But all that isn't anything new. Everyone complains about English assignments. Everyone hates reading the Scarlet Letter. Everyone thinks school should die. However, something that also locked in my disdain for reading was my mom. Hi, Mom. Of course, as a parent, you don't want your child to do nothing but play video games all day.
Yeah. And my granny when I was little would always remind me to read books during the summer. And to be honest, I was actually pretty okay with that because I had a little library when I was little, so I had plenty of books to be able to read during the summer.
During summer vacation, my mom would always tell me that I needed to read at least 2 books so I don't forget how to read. Whenever my mom would walk in on my brother and I playing Mario Kart together in the living room, she would ask if we've read yet today, which we would respond no, because reading's for chumps, and then she'd lock us in our rooms to be chumps. I started hating reading so much, I would rather do literally nothing than read a book. There were a couple summers where I faked reading entire books because I just didn't want to read that much. There was this one about dragons, I think, called The Secret Country, and I still remember that just looking at the cover would put me in a bad mood because of hatred association. Screw your secret country. When I was being forced to read, I would sit angrily on my bed, open the book, move the bookmark a reasonable amount forward to make it look like I read, and then just sit there for 30 minutes staring at it. It was boring, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I could have had at least...
That was just your mind being very, very stubborn, and trust me, I've had those moments.
Actually, the ironic part is maybe a year or so decided
not
to
with
restart the
reading,
same book and
but
give
I
it
have
another
had
shot on my
moments
own
where I
terms. And
legit
I
would
finished
be
it in 2
like,
days. It was pretty
yeah,
good.
I'm
I
not
did it
doing
again with
that.
another book called Molly Moon and the Morphing Mystery. It's like the 5th book in this Molly Moon series. It's been a while, so I don't really remember the story, but it's about this orphan who can hypnotize people and has a pug. Anyway, it's funky because I actually read the first few books of the series on my own and remember really liking them. I would read them any chance I got, but as soon as I was forced to read this one, I just decided I'd rather literally waste my time and sit alone rebelling against reasonable parenting. But this time I never went back to read it. I think that might have been the point of no return for me. I think the association of reading as a necessity or some sort of punishment has deep-rooted itself in me, and now I just feel like reading isn't fun or I'm in trouble for something even though I live alone. I've tried listening to
I'm so
audiobooks, but
sorry.
honestly, they make me feel really lonely. I don't know why. It might be the lack of visuals. I like pictures. And also no one else is around. It's the same with
I mean,
music.
fair enough,
I've never
but
been
I
a big music
absolutely
person, so
love
whenever I try to
audiobooks
sit down and
now.
do something while listening to
In
music,
fact, like
it
I
somehow
said, I'm
enhances
listening
this
to the
feeling
Harry
of
Potter
being alone and
audiobook,
like
and
time's
I
going
have
by slower, which makes
listened,
me
and
uncomfortable.
I have
So I
listened
always
to
have
many
either
other
YouTube videos or
audiobooks
more
as well.
recently Twitch streams in the background. I'm still not super used to Twitch yet, but I like Ryukar's stuff. He plays Mario Maker. Sometimes I wish I read more. It might be good for me to slow down instead of always consuming fast-paced content on the internet, but on the other hand, I think it's just a preference I have that's been cemented with bad association. If you like reading, I think that's really great. I've got a lot of friends who like reading, and it's cool that you've got a really nice hobby you can fall back on to de-stress, or
Yep.
however you people feel while staring at words all day. I was gonna say you should recommend a good book I should give a try, but I took a second to think about if I would actually try to read any suggestions, and being real with myself, the answer is no.
It's such a shame because I have
enjoy
many
that
books that
chamomile
you
tea.
probably would love to read.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
But I do appreciate that Jaden is honest about if she would ever read a book in general. Anyway, guys, that was my reaction to JaidenAnimations I hate reading. It's such a shame, but that is how we are like as kids, where we get forced to do something, and then when we get forced to do something, that makes us not want to do the thing in the first place. And I can relate to that a lot. Trust me when I say there's certain things that I'd be forced to do I didn't like that. Anyway, have a good day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye.